Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. In this video I'm going to be talking specifically about all the classes. There are currently 6 in the game, 3 starter classes and then 3 that you can unlock. And I'm basically going to be going over each individual one, what to expect, kind of their role in the game, and just show you a little bit about them so you can figure out which class you might want to spend some time in. So I'm going to jump right into it. We have the Harbinger. Now, for beginners, this is my recommendation. I would always start with Harbinger. So the way the game is played, and I'll talk about legacies a little bit more in another video, but legacies are an important key to crafting your class. There are 3 cards basically that you can level up to a maximum level of 50, and those cards greatly affect the way you play the game and how much damage you do, how much energy you have. Are you tanky? Are you more of a damaging class? Do you run really fast? It basically can affect all those different things. So those are really important, and the best way to get those is to use the Harbinger. That's why I recommend Harbinger for your first class. However, you can play really any class in the beginning, and then once you decide you want to go get some really good legacies, maybe make a Harbinger class. Anyways, back to the reviews here of each class. I'm gonna go ahead and jump right into a Harbinger and show you what his abilities look like. Okay, so here I just jumped on my Harbinger here, and you can see he has a bow as his main attack. Decent range. I can hit this dummy from all the way back here, kind of right on this like little knocked over stool. So range is pretty decent. You can see I don't have any gear on currently, so this is just kind of the basic attack, and you can see my energy drops fairly quickly, but as you can see, when I right click for the special attack, I target one and it shoots a shot there. You can see my normal attack does about 344 right now and 1618 for the crits. There you go, I popped a crit there. Again, don't go off these values because I do have a maximum level right now with some relics on. So these won't be your numbers when you show up, but you can see that special how it crit for about you can see, hold on, let me shoot 3. You can even shoot multiple at the same time. I think the base damage here is about 1,000, and then when you crit, you get here. Let me see if I can crit again. Yeah, there you go. There's a 4,800. So your special attack does a lot of damage. You can see right now I'm just holding down left click, and then as I gain energy, I just spam my right click here, and it just kind of shoots it off right away. Or you could build up a lot of energy, stop shooting, target multiple things, and then shoot them all at once like that. So kind of an auto target ability, shoots pretty good damage, can clear out a room pretty fast. Let's jump on to the next class. So here we have the Alchemist. You can see the range on the Alchemist is about the same as the Harbinger. You can shoot pretty decent shots. Let me make sure that I don't have any equipment on. And then you lose energy a little bit slower than the Harbinger, but your special attack, you right click and you throw out kind of a flask, if you will, and it deals poison over time, and you can throw out a bunch of these. Let me go ahead and show you how fast you can throw them. You can't spam it as fast as the Harbinger skill. So here we go. I'm going as fast as I can. This is about the speed right here of the skill. So you can't throw them out super fast. There's a little bit of delay in between them, and that kind of is one of the reasons why a lot of people don't like the Alchemist. I still think it's pretty cool. Later in the game, you'll be able to get some pretty good legacies. Right here, these are the 4 spots. And you'll be able to put some in here that kind of affect the way your poison debuffs enemies. So kind of right now, the Alchemist is considered to be a support class. But all in all, can move around pretty quickly compared to other classes. Has decent damage, not the best by any means, but kind of a fun class. And a neat class if you want to play something that not everyone else plays a lot of. The most popular class is Harbinger. Let's move on to the next class. Okay, so now we have the Infiltrator, or the Rogue as I like to call him. Can shoot faster than most classes. See, he runs around pretty decent. One of the fastest move speeds in the game. Dun, dun, dun. You can see decent damage. Let me make sure. Oh, see, I do have something on there. Let's unequip that. Okay, that makes a little bit more sense. So you can see he loses energy pretty slowly. Builds it up pretty quickly as well. So when you right click his special attack, he turns invisible. Now he's not completely invisible to his enemies, but he does have an increased chance to dodge attacks. I think it's about 60%. So when you, let's do this again, let's build up enough energy. Now don't quote me, but he does have a reduced damage, and you move a little bit quicker as well. So you increase your move speed while invisible, and you dodge more shots from the enemy. And often in dungeons, you can actually run fast enough that you pass the enemy before he even shoots. So this is a good class if you want to rush for your team. Maybe go out and find the boss for your team and then backtrack and help them get there. That way they don't have to go down every corridor running into all the dead ends. You can just rush down there, find it, turn around and let your team know where it is. Another thing to note, let me build up another set of energy here. So when you turn invisible, you move faster, as I said, but when you come out, you send these little daggers out that can crit, as you just saw, and it does damage, a little bit of damage. It's not a huge amount of damage by any means, but it is, if you're trying to get a lot of damage from this guy, a lot of people will go up to their target real close and try and spam their invisible, and you can see I've got about 3 of those daggers out. So a little bit dangerous being so close to your target, but at the same time you'll get some decent damage in. Let's move on to the next class. Okay, so now we have the Sentinel. The Sentinel is unlocked by either paying Electrum or getting the Infiltrator to level 25 and then sacrificing yourself to the well. After you do that, you'll unlock the Sentinel and you'll be able to play him. Now the Sentinel is pretty neat. You can kind of see his range is a little bit shorter than that of the Harb or the Alchemist, but the special ability of the Sentinel is really, really cool. Now let me build up enough and I'll show you. You basically right click and you put down this circle, and it's like a protective circle. So if enemies shoot, they'll hit the wall and disappear. Now every single time the protective circle gets hit by a projectile, you'll lose even more energy. So over time I was losing energy, and then if I got hit it would jump down a little bit. So you really got to be careful making sure you have a lot of energy when you're using this class. This class is one of the most important to keep your energy up, because if you're trying to put this on a boss to absorb all the boss's projectiles and your energy disappears, all of a sudden you're gonna lose your shield and you might get hit with a lot of damage. So you got to be a little bit careful. But overall, the Sentinel's a great tank, a great person to have on a team. Can absorb a lot of damage and protect your team pretty well. Has the highest health pool in the game. So even if your shield does drop, you might be able to take a few shots before going down. But I would definitely recommend this in later tier dungeons, as you can go with maybe a Harbinger or some other class to deal a little bit more damage. Your damage is also pretty decent. However, mainly you want to focus on keeping your energy up so that you can have this shield down most of the time, if not all of the time, later on in the game, if you're able to do that. Let's move on to the next class. So next we have the Geomancer. Now the Geomancer is unlocked by getting the Alchemist. Let me make sure that's right. Yep, the Alchemist all the way to 25 and then sacrificing yourself to the well. You can also, again, pay for Electrum, but I prefer kind of the 25 sacrifice to the well method. You can see the range on this guy is a little bit further than the Sentinel, but not quite to the point of Alchemist or Harbinger. Let me make sure I don't have anything on. So energy loss, about medium, pretty slow actually in my opinion. Not bad damage either, not bad damage. Now your special ability, let's right click, summons 3 turrets, and as you shoot, they shoot in the direction you're shooting. As you can see, I'm dragging myself. They're a little bit slower than I am, and I keep shooting up, and you can see they continue to shoot in that direction. They don't shoot towards your cursor, they just shoot in the direction that you're shooting. Now another thing to note is, though these guys' damage isn't the best, when you get hit, one of the turrets will disappear instead of you taking damage. So more than not, they're basically like a little shield for you, even if they're not, right next to you. Like if let's say I summon him here and I run over here and get hit from there, one of those guys will disappear and take the shot for me. So pretty neat class. Decent damage too, based off his stats and his willpower. But overall, pretty neat. I would say this guy's fairly good for soloing content. He doesn't really provide a lot of team help other than being able to maybe push through into rooms and try and clear around the edges so his team can get through. He can use his little turrets here as a shield as he pushes through and try and thin the herd of the mobs. So overall, really cool class in my opinion. But not seen as much as you would think. I would say he's around the middle of the pack. More and more are starting to play him now. But yeah, definitely check him out. I think he's one of the coolest classes in the game currently. Definitely got some pretty cool skins and everything. So let's move on to the last but not least, the Druid class. Okay, so last but not least, the Druid class. Now the reason I kept the Druid for last is specifically because he's a little bit more difficult to play. If you're a newer player, would 100% recommend the Harbinger. However, I don't want to discourage other people from playing other classes either. I think they're all great. They're all really fun. So let me get into why the Druid is a little bit difficult to play. First off, you can see his damage range is, I'd say, medium. No, it's not bad, actually. This is pretty far back. However, his special transforms him into a bear, and you can move around freely. However, when you attack, you charge forward. So again, I'm going to come back here. I'm going to click on this guy. Boom. He charges forward and then shoots a burst of 3 shots. Now, the reason that's a little bit difficult to kind of learn the play style is because a lot of times you're trying to dodge in this, right? It's a bullet hell game. That's what you're meant to do. Just dodge a bunch of bullets. When you turn into the bear, however, and you attack, you can't, like, watch, I'll move down and attack sideways. It cancels my down movement and charges me towards my cursor where I attacked. And it's just a little bit dangerous. You can't really dodge. You're stuck in this forward momentum. So it took a long time for me to really understand how to play the Druid and how to really optimize that ability. You can see if you charge, you can try and cancel it a little bit early. Here, see how I canceled it a little bit early? I was supposed to go up to here, but I right-clicked out of it. So you can do that if you're getting into danger, but it's just a little bit dangerous. One of the things they do to kind of balance that out, you can see, is when you turn into a bear, you can put your mouse over here, you gain endurance. And endurance is the main stat for defense. So you are a little bit tankier when you transform into the bear. However, you have to attack at a much closer range. Overall, I would still call it one of my favorite classes. Very neat skill. It's just a little bit harder learning curve. I would not recommend the Druid to go inside the well to farm legacies. I would recommend you get legacies for the Druid with the Harbinger first, and then go and play on the Druid. Now the Druid, again, late game can be very, very fun, and I plan on making some videos about it later on. However, difficult first class to play, but super fun. Again, I don't want to discourage anyone from playing any other classes. I just want to, don't expect to play the Druid and be super tanky right off the bat. Play the Druid with a little bit of caution, just as you would play any other classes. Alright guys, thanks for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed. Now again, this is just an overview of all the classes. At some point when I have a little bit more time, I'll go in depth with each class. If you guys are really curious about a specific class and how you should play them a little bit more and want more info or even gameplay on me playing those specific classes, go ahead and post down below in the comments. I'll be happy to do something like that. If you enjoyed it, please go ahead and subscribe and like the video. Again, I'll do my best to answer any comments I see below. I'm at my computer probably at least 8 hours a day, so I'll see those pretty quickly. So go ahead and post any questions. I'm more than happy to help out new players. I've been playing this game just in early access, but I've spent a large amount of time in it so far, so I know most of the questions you have I can probably answer. There definitely are some out there that I'm still completely clueless on. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and look forward to making more for you guys soon.